thank you all for coming. We're here to celebrate a couple of different things. We're celebrating the Wheeler School because the Wheeler School has done a tremendous job academically. They were a school in improvement, and they have raised their academic scores sufficiently so they're no longer in improvement. We're also celebrating the program that was used to do that. It's called Project Momentum, and I will tell you a little bit the story of Project Momentum. The chair of the Education Committee some years ago studied what schools had done a lot of advancement and had maintained it, and she called them to find out what program they were using. They all said, we're using Project Momentum. Project Momentum is a program that involves mentoring for superintendents and principals, with teachers, helping the teachers with their planning, with teaching the standards, and it's a all around academic program, and we're celebrating that program because this year we had 108 schools statewide advance from being in improvement to no longer being in improvement. 108 schools because of Project Momentum, and the Wheeler School is the only school in the Tucson area that has achieved that. So we want to honor the Wheeler School. I also want to say a word about OMA, Opening Minds Through the Arts. I have been involved with OMA since around 2003 when I was first elected superintendent. And in fact, I spoke with Dr. Ashcroft, who's here. Where are you, Dr. Ashcroft? I don't know if she's still here. She was helping putting the instruments away. Oh, okay. But she reminded me something I had forgotten. I helped her by passing a rule that said that they could go into the English language learner classes with OMA. And I've become an evangelist for it in other districts, telling districts when I'm there, you need to copy Phoenix Unified with their OMA program. We have studies that show that students who study musical instruments at an early age are better in academics, especially math. There are two possible theories. One is that it uses both sides of the brain. The other is that music notation is a kind of abstract reasoning. The second line on the treble clef is not the second line on the treble clef, it's a G. And so students become used to abstract reasoning. Whatever the reason, we have studies, there are a lot of national studies on this, and here in the Tucson district, you guys have studies showing that students that participate in OMA improve a lot academically as a result of their music education. So we're honoring the district as well on this, and also the sign outside that says "Be kind." I love that. That's so important. We're all about academics, but an academically capable person without character is dangerous. So I'm really glad to see that sign. So it's time for me to present a plaque to the principal. It's the Academic Progress Award presented to Wheeler Elementary School, recognizing progress, resilience, and the pursuit of excellence, making remarkable strides toward academic success. So if you would come here, and I'll present it to you, and people can take pictures, and then you can speak. Did everybody get the pictures?
One more, please. Smile. Great, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Say a few words.
Yes, thank you. Thank you again for this recognition. This is a true reflection of the hard work and dedication that our teachers bring every single day. This is a representation of the partnership we have with our parents and guardians and community. And this is the hard work that you students bring every single day. School improvement is a team effort. We have so many supports, and including our district leadership. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who has helped us along the way. I want to thank you, Arizona Department of Education, for recognizing Wheeler's progress, and we look forward to continuing our growth. So thank you. Thank you so much.
And the superintendent of the district has a few words to say.
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank Superintendent Tom Horn and the Arizona Department of Education, not only for coming out here today to support Wheeler's unbelievable achievement, but for really investing in Project Momentum. In my time as superintendent here, it is the first comprehensive framework made available to schools throughout the state of Arizona focused on school improvement through a combination of investing in teacher collaboration and professional development and leadership for principals and superintendents, and working with principals on how to set the teams and the structures necessary to focus on academic achievement. So it really is the first framework that we have seen made available to schools that are struggling with school improvement. And it's paid off. And I know our principals that are in that program are highly complimentary of it. And Wheeler is the flagship school for successfully coming out of school improvement through Project Momentum. Here in Tucson Unified School District, we are proud supporters of the arts. We're firm believers that every single child and young person should have access to music and arts education for the reasons that Superintendent Horn talked about. When you play music, when you read music, you're activating that side of the brain that looks for patterns, that analyzes, that interprets, that lends itself very well for math. But then you're also activating that side of the brain that's creative, that's looking to create, that's looking to build, that's looking to collaborate, which fosters that creative side of the brain that is so effective when you're in English language arts and you're interpreting readings and you're creating poetry and you're reading plays and things like that. So we are very, very proud to support the arts here in TUSD. And now with our recent override, we are going to be able to put music education in every single elementary school in the district. So it's a realization of a vision. And the other thing about music is it's such a connector for the community. Every single parent, regardless of where they're coming from in our community, regardless of socioeconomic status, every single parent loves to see their kid perform. And music connects communities to schools and it celebrates student success. So I want to thank the Arizona Department of Education, Superintendent Horn, for being here. And Carrie Baltus, our proud principal, thank you for all of your hard work in steering the ship here at Wheeler and making them such a point of pride for Tucson Unified. Thank you.
The three of us are happy to take any questions you might have. Anybody have?
A picture of you guys with the student council.
Sure.
Sure. You want them in front of us?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because we're taller.
We'll move the podium and then we'll put it back on for the question.
That's fine.
Victoria, can you come over here, honey? Thank you so much.
Right,
yeah.
Since you're the tallest, let's put you right here,
Perfect.
honey,
Thank you,
and then
Leah.
you'll go
And then
right
America.
in there.
There we go. That's good.
Perfect.
That's good.
Okay, smiling.
Oh, I'll pick it up later.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Smile. There we go.
Okay, thank you guys. So does anybody from the press have any questions?
As soon as the mics are back.
We're gonna put the mics up.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, right. Raise your hand if you have a question. Yes, go ahead.
For both of you, but specifically for Superintendent Dr. Trujillo, 5 TUSD schools made it off this list, but that just means they're not in the bottom 5%. So
Correct.
there's some
A lot of work
progress
to do.
that needs to be made. So what are you hoping to do with these 5 schools going forward to kind of make sure they stay off that list in the future?
Well, what we have to really focus on is the 5 schools continuing to be focused on a culture of assessment and understanding that we have to rely on our assessments throughout the year to identify students that are struggling as early as we can to get them interventions that are needed, specifically with math and English language arts. What's really turned the corner here in TUSD for a lot of schools during the school day academic interventions. When you do academic interventions after school, sometimes you create a barrier for parents trying to get their kids there. So we have to get everything that we can into the school day, particularly with math and reading. And that's been a game changer for us.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes.
Yeah, a Wheeler-specific question. What do you think the biggest difference has been that you've seen from going to, the bottom 5% to getting off this improvement list? Like, just what have you seen on campus?
Ms. Baltus, get
You-
closer.
yeah,
to the
sure.
mic.
Oh, sorry. Just again, it really has to do with all of the teachers and staff that we have. Like Dr. Trio said, we do have, the interventions put in place, and we as a staff are always collaborating with one another. And so, nothing different than my sister schools. It's just, that's just where we're at.
Let me say collaboration is a very important part of Project Momentum. And one of the things that we've done is in schools where, in isolated areas where you might have only one math teacher or one of a different kind of teacher, we've set up online groups so that they could collaborate with the teachers teaching the same thing in other schools. Teachers do much better when they're talking to each other. Yes.
Yeah, superintendent, I know just, when schools fall below that, into that bottom 5%, the federal government mandates that some actions taken. You're touting Project Momentum. Can you explain what's different about what Arizona's doing to address these schools that maybe other states aren't?
Yes, Project Momentum is what we're doing. We adopted Project Momentum. I mentioned earlier that the chair of the Education Committee did a study in the House of Representatives some years ago, did a study that showed Project Momentum was most successful in having schools improve. So I hired her as our associate superintendent for school improvement, and she's been running that program in a really brilliant way. And that's what's different about us, because we've adopted this program that has proven itself, not only to have schools raise their academic performance, but maintain the gains that they make. And that's what we're doing differently. Any other questions? Yes.
Yes, I guess, they're definitely improving, but there's still a lot of work to go. So same question as Dr. Trujillo, but what would you like to see in addition to Project Momentum happening in schools that are either on that list or that just got off of it and just still need to keep improving?
Well, we have 15 initiatives. I often say that the press likes to write about controversies because that's interesting. But if you really want to know what we do, 90% of my time and effort and that of the Department of Education is in helping schools improve their academics. And so we're trying to get the focus back on academics. There had been some departure from that focus in some years before I was elected to this term in 2022. And we want teachers to be teaching their academics bell to bell. One of our slogans is every instructional minute is precious. We're trying to get a very strong emphasis on reading and math and history and science and the arts, so that the students will perform better academically. Any other questions? Yes.
Yeah, I think it's easy to get bogged down in kind of the numbers, the bottom 5% that we've been giving you. Back to the students. That's what this is about. What does that look like when a school goes from kind of in the bottom 5% to making this progress, this upward reach? For you or the principal as well, what does that just look like on a day-to-day basis with the students?
Well, what it means is the students are performing better on their testing in math and what we call English language arts, which is reading and writing. And that is going to affect their whole lives. It's going to enable them to learn better as they go on in school, and it's going to enable them to get much better jobs than if that had not happened. And so that's what I've devoted what we're doing is to helping the schools get the students to do better in their academics. and that because that affects their lives. Any other questions? If not, thank you. Yes,
Yeah, give you one more. Talking
I like
about
questions. That's good.
No, I appreciate it. Just in general, when schools are in that improvement status, how long are they typically there for? I mean, and maybe talk about Wheeler since we're here, but just kind of what's typical for how long it takes a school to get out of that area?
Well, do you want to talk about it?
So Wheeler was identified as a Project Momentum school in August. We recently we received our spring AASA scores, and we just received news that we got out of it. So we were in it for just a little bit. However, we were continuously working on improving our scores. So we were watched for like a few years. It's typically about like 3 to 5 years. And so, but again, we're just like focusing on those strategies. So kind of going back to your last question with Project Momentum, it's truly been amazing. Even though we've only worked with it since the beginning of the year, it's been incredible. They really teach us about and work with our, like, myself and our teachers about like those strategies that we can implement in the classrooms, specifically with like student engagement. Our kiddos are continuously talking to one another, solving problems together. And so when you walk into a classroom, it's lively. You hear the kiddos talking and using that academic rich conversations. And so that has what's been incredible.
Leadership is everything, and you can see you've got a great principal here.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Any more questions? If not, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Everybody, and thank you for your
so much.
success.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.